Hi, I'm Dominica Lumazar.
And I'm Rory Carruthers.
We help entrepreneurs develop their big picture business strategy in order to break through growth plateaus.
We built several marketing agencies from the ground up and have helped our clients earn over $1 billion in revenue.
Now we want to share everything we've learned along the way.
This is the Big Picture Business Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Big Picture Business Podcast. Today, we are so excited to introduce you one of my personal favorite people on the planet, not only because she happens to be my older sister, but she's also an incredible business owner, a leader, entrepreneur, and she is just an all-around outstanding individual. So Rory, I'm going to let you take it from here for a minute.
What's really, really cool about our guest today, Dominica's sister, is that she's in a business that you normally wouldn't think of as creating a business around, not necessarily.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if you're out there and you're wondering like, is my passion or my dream something that I could bring to the world and actually have a successful business with, then you're in the right place, because you're going to learn a lot today about what that is like. All right, I'd like to introduce you to Franchesca Duval, who is the founder and owner of the very first humane and 100% plastic-free chicken and quail hatchery in the world. She's really pushing the envelope with some of the standard practices in the poultry industry. And she's really showing the world that a business can be profitable without exploiting the natural world and environment. And as far as marketing goes, she's built a really tight and loyal customer fan base. And she's done it using Instagram and just has some killer photos online. So we're going to dive into a lot of this. So we're going to talk about business and strategy. We're going to talk about why it's so important to be protecting our environment. And it's a really important topic to me as well, which we'll get into in a little bit. So Franchesca, welcome. And Dominica, you have any questions you want to start with today?
What I appreciate so much about Franchesca is that she is the type of business owner that truly leads from the heart. And I've been inspired by that key factor my entire life, which is why I credit a lot of my success for keeping the course in my own business when I look to Franchesca and I see that she's rocking it in her business. So Franchesca, I want to ask you, because I might know the answer, but I know our listeners are wondering, tell us about Alchemist Farm and Garden, your business. Like, how did you get started? What's your story?
It's a long one, so I'll try and condense it down into something that's just concise and useful for this purpose here.
All right.
Watching. I'm a person who really has so many varied interests. And I had so many interests that felt like they were moving in different directions. I was getting pulled in all these places and feeling like I was giving 20% to each one of these things. I loved growing my own food, trying to live some sort of a sustainable lifestyle. I liked working with livestock. Chickens are always part of my life. I liked working with fertility. I was studying to be a midwife. I liked teaching. I'm an educator as well. I was a childbirth educator for a long time. Lots of things around birth and bringing new things into the world. And all of it was just pulling me in so many different directions until I looked on Craigslist one day and I saw these beautiful dark chicken eggs. I was like, what is that? And why don't I see that in the grocery store? And where did that come from? What's the story of that? And so I started digging deeper and deeper and really started falling in love with this whole world of chickens that I didn't know had existed. And I was so fascinated by the idea of different egg colors and the biodiversity in them and the story that they tell of our food systems and where our food comes from. And it felt like it was a really powerful, gentle way to have an entry point of talking to people about these issues that we might not be aware of. So all of these things were kind of clicking into place just by looking at this one, it was like my brain was primed looking at this one chicken. It was kind of a soul connection, if you will. So I got said chicken that lays these eggs and worked with them, had 3 of them in my backyard. One thing led to another. My husband and I were looking for a little more land. We were on like 1/3 of an acre at the time, and we found 5 acres in our town here in Sebastopol and moved to it. And when my husband said I do, he had no idea he was saying like I do to me and this chicken fantasy kingdom, because this business, what started as like, hey, if I'm interested in these egg colors and I've got chicken fever, other people must have chicken fever, I'll make money off that. It started like that. But after the money piece was washed away, I saw that there was so much more, that we're marrying all of my interests together into one, so that the business was like my third child of what I would want to show the world, create for the world, and use as so much more than just a way to make money, but a way to educate and a way to give a gift to the world about a whole lifestyle that people could have, a way to have gentle conversations around our food sources, how much we are interacting knowingly or unknowingly with really large industrial food systems that are causing a lot of harm ecologically, but also empowering people to step away from that. So not just sounding these alarm bells that are really depressing, because there's a lot of that ecologically right now, where they're like, here's the shock, here's how you should hide under your covers and never come out, and you'll be depressed the rest of your life. And I'm like, yeah, okay, here's an issue. Like, chickens are crammed into warehouses. Chickens in hatcheries have tons of issues. Like, all the male chicks that are born, 98% of them are killed. Damn. When I found that out, I was like, okay, that's the cornerstone of my business. I'm not going to do that. How do I not do that? And so seeing all these issues allowed me to make myself better, because it was like a challenge. How do I not support those things? How do I not support the greater industrial food system? Okay, I grow my own food. Check. How do I not support these other inhumane practices that I don't agree with? Raise my own, hatch my own. Check. How can I offer that out to the world? And there's a whole world of people who feel the same and don't want to support those kinds of practices, but didn't have a place to turn. And so there was this incredible niche market. And it's not like me doing this research of like, here's how I can make the most money by filling this market that's not there. It was really following my heart of what felt right universally. Like, animals shouldn't be treated this way. Humans shouldn't be treated this way. Once we ticked off that box of like humane treatment of the animals, then we can look at, okay, how are they kept? How are they housed? And then retool all of our infrastructure here as we grew and expanded. How can we have pastures that are constantly rotating? So then we're dealing with regenerating our soil. What is regenerative agriculture? How do we educate people on that? Hey, we're shipping with a bunch of plastic in all of our like chick and egg orders. I don't want to create more plastic and just be like shipping trash out into the world. How can we do something different? And so constantly each season, retooling, not as a marketing thing, not to greenwash and say, you know, just support us because we're planting 5 trees for every thing you're doing. Like, let's really like give something that's concrete, that like feels real, that when people are supporting us, they can see, wow, like these people have gone the distance and they're educating other people how to do it too. I don't keep any of it as a trade secret. I'm like, here's how you ship plastic free. Join me, please, because the issues of what's happening in our landfills are huge. Like, so leading from a place of purity in the heart with business and marrying all of your interests together is so powerful, because then it's more than just me and my ideas of what I want to do for a farm. It's a whole collective need of where we need to go. And so every day I wake up and I might feel tired, but there's all this energy behind me of what needs to happen. And so I feel this extra push, like from God, from the people around me who are trying to do the same thing of like, let's do better, let's support better, let's see what we can do to leave something that's valuable on this planet to our children. So that's a very long-winded answer as to how did I start Alchemist Farm and kind of like what we're about.
Remember to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified when each new episode is released. To download the digital episode companions, watch unedited and behind-the-scenes content from this and all our other episodes, get access to exclusive trainings from us and our guests, get direct access to myself and Rory, and to schedule your business critique with us, head on over to bppodcast.com/VIP. The link is also in the description. We'll see you there.